What's going on, guys? This is Dave from PNP. I know I'm a little bit early today. I had something that's going to happen around 8 o'clock. I'm waiting on a phone call, so my show might be paused at that point. So let's get into it, man. Just for the sake of awareness for everybody, if you guys already looked at your lineup situation and you had players from the Bills, Cowboys, Jags, Chargers, Vikings, and Steelers, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I like to call the worst week in fantasy from a bye week perspective. This is the only week in the NFL where there are 6 teams on a bye, and these are heavy-hitting teams. So that means this week you will have no Josh Allen, no Dak Prescott, no Stephon Diggs, no Ezekiel Elliott, no CeeDee Lamb, no Amari Cooper, no James Robinson, no Austin Eckler, no Justin Herbert, no Adam Thielen, no Justin Jefferson, no Kirk Cousins if you about that life, no Chase Claypool, no Najee Harris, no Mike Williams, no Keenan Allen. I think I said him earlier. But my point is there's some pretty damn good teams, pretty damn good fantasy players in these streets that aren't going to be available for you this week. And let me tell you something, man. You have to make executive decisions. And sometimes you have to make some level of sacrifices. For example, in one of my leagues, I made the executive decision to not play with the tight end. I might change my mind between now and the waiver wire pick for waivers clear tomorrow. But as of right now, I'm leaning towards going without a tight end because it's not worth me dropping somebody to get a mediocre tight end. So I'm wrestling with that right now. So it all depends on the situation at hand. In my leagues, the worst record I have in my league is 2-4. The best record I have in a league is 6-0. I'm in 7 leagues though. I'm 5-1 in 2 leagues. I'm 6-0 in 1. I'm 3-3 in 1 in 2 of them, and I'm like 2-4 in like 1 of them if I did everything right. If my math says right. So pretty good so far. I mean the 2-4 team is in a 14-team league. So I got a hill to climb. But if I can get through this bye week, I think I have a miracle waiting. If you believe Matt, all right, so let's get on with some of these comments in the chat before I get that phone call. Hold on 1 second, bear with me. Let's see. All right, I already answered that. So yeah, like I said, I'm undefeated in 1. I got 2 that are 1-loss teams, and I got 1 that are 2-loss teams, and I got 2 3-3s, and I have a 2-4 team. Mooney or Hardman at wide receiver this week, full PPR. Mooney. That's close. I got to check the matchups for that. Hold on, let me check the matchups for that. Who do the Bears play this week? The Bucks. Well, they'll be in a shootout, so Mooney would be favorable. All right, what about the Chiefs? Who do the Chiefs play next week? Titans. Yeah, I'll still roll with Mooney. I swear I've been wanting to drop Sam, but then he has a favorite matchup. Well, unfortunately, I can't drop Sam Darnold because in one of my leagues, he is my backup. I picked him up because I knew Dak Prescott. This was before it got rough in these streets. I picked him up just to hold him to get through the Dak Prescott week because this week the Cowboys are on bye. So I'm going to play him this week against the Giants. I might change my quarterback, but as soon as I get past this week, I'm dropping him. Don't need him anymore. He's a waste of space. I'm afraid with the Giants, by the way, because if Rule is serious about what he said about how he wants to change the offense and they're going to run the ball more, even though, by the way, we run the ball more. We're 9th in the NFL in rushing attempts. So if he wants to run it more than that, then Sam is not going to do too much. Thoughts on Chase Edmunds long term? I traded Godwin for him and Chenault, and it looks like I lost the trade. I won't say you lost it yet. But you kind of got to live with it. You got to live with the situation with Chase Edmunds. I think the only concern you have with Chase is James Conner vulturing. I think Edmunds has his role with the offense, though. Tua a week or Wentz. I actually like Tua this week, believe it or not. Tua's got a pretty. Wait. Before I say that, who do the Dolphins play? Because I don't know the schedule, unfortunately. Let me just pull up the schedule right now. Week 7 NFL schedule. Let's pull this up. Who do the Dolphins? Oh, they play the Falcons. You said Tua or Wentz, and the Colts play the not Tua. Give me Tua. Yeah, depending on who your other options are, Noli. But yeah, I mean, if you're desperate, I mean, I'm going after Ernest Johnson in a couple leagues today. Speaking of which, man, let's talk about some of these players. Now we know about the situation in Cleveland. So you got Dearness Johnson and you got Felton. What's his first name? I think Demetric Felton, I believe his name is. Let me double check that. I don't remember. I think it is Demetrius Felton. Let me see. Yep, Demetrius Felton. He played for UCLA. North Carolina. One of them schools, whatever. I mean, if you depending on what your other options are, Noli, I mean, I wouldn't do it unless you're in a desperation type of situation because we don't know how they're going to split the work in Cleveland. I mean, if it's you got to figure out which guy's going to be the who's going to be the Chubb guy and who's going to be the Hunt guy. What do you think will get me Dalvin Cook from a fantasy team that's 1-5? What would you give for Dalvin Cook if he wasn't 1-5? I mean, if has the person screened fire sale, and even then, that's kind of destroys the integrity of your league a bit. I mean, for Dalvin Cook, and I would highly recommend to get Alexander Madison with him because he does get hurt. I would recommend you could probably to send him at least an RB2 or wide receiver 1, something to that effect. You got to send him 2 top 20 guys for him to give you Dalvin Cook. Don't try to lowball the guy, man. I would do this. I don't know if they'll take it. Now, Randon really has not been playing that well so far, but I don't know if they would take that. That'll be a tough one. I don't know, man. Rashad Penny. Why would I want to start him? Is Alex Collins not going to play? I know he's questionable, but he's coming out of Ranger Reserve. Oh, God. Oh, that's going to make the running back situation a mess in Seattle. Oh. Don't know if I will play him this week. Because you would think that they'll stack the box against Seattle to force Geno Smith to throw the ball. I mean, Geno looked too hot last week. I sent him Sutton and Pitts. I wouldn't take that. I would decline that on site. That ain't enough. That's not enough to get Dalvin Cook. I mean, at 1-5, you can still make the playoffs. I mean, the question is, and I didn't get into it too much last week, but if you're 1-5, if you're a 1-5 team, the first thing you need to ask yourself is, why are you 1-5? Are you 1-5 because your team just isn't good? Or are you 1-5 because you kept running into buzzsaws? Because, I remember one season, I started 0-4, but I was the second highest scorer in the league. So I wasn't panicking over the fact that I started 0-4. I mean, eventually it will even out, and it did. I almost made the playoffs that year. Or did I make the playoffs that year? No, I ended up making the playoffs that year. So, you kind of got to look at your squad. I've had 5-1 teams that I knew that it was going to falter because of how many points they were scoring. I was fortunate to have an easy schedule. My opponents didn't didn't score as many points. So like when I look at the standings, I don't look just at my record. I also look at how many points have I get, how many points does my team have, how many points have my opponents gave me, because that's going to give me an idea of my situation at hand more than the record. The record's important, don't get me wrong, but when it comes to trying to win those fantasy championships, you want to make sure your team's hitting a certain type of score every week. You kind of can't control the variances of what happens in a matchup on a Sunday, but for your opponent. But overall, if you know your team is going to drop 130 every week, and 130 will probably win you most games, there's no reason to complain. But if your team is out here dropping 80 points a week, and even if you win like the first 4 out of 5 weeks, dropping 80 points a week, your team's going to fail unless the points pick up. Your team's not going to make it. And even if you do make the playoffs, you're a paperweight. Because in the playoffs, everybody's good. Everybody's good at that point. Because if you're a 4-1 team or a 5-1 team or 6-2 or something to that effect, then you're in a situation where you ain't scoring that many points. You're in a situation where you can't get players to improve your team because you're near the top of the heap. So meanwhile, everybody else that's sitting at 3-3, 3-4, 4-3, 3-5, they might be scoring way more points than you, and they just got to get a break. And if they start streaking and get the streak in, it's a wrap. And you're going to be out of there. That's how come you see a lot of seeds like a 5 or a 6 seed. That's how they end up winning championships, because they end up grabbing the momentum at the end of the season, and then they run that into the playoffs and just then buzzsaw everybody else. Javonte Williams Thursday or Michael Carter Sunday? Javonte, who does never play? Oh, the Browns. I'll take Williams. I'll take Williams on Thursday. Drop Ronald Jones for Le'Veon Bell if you want. I don't know if you're not starting either one, so I think I'll take my chances on Le'Veon Bell, even though that running back situation is a mess. If Damian Williams plays, Damian Williams is the answer. I don't think Herbert. I think Herbert becomes a non-factor if Damian Williams is available. You just got to monitor the situation. All right, so I named a lot of quarterbacks who's going to be missing in action this week due to the bye. So, there's a couple guys you could think about getting. Derek Carr is definitely one of them. Tua, if you like the matchup against Atlanta. Matt Ryan is available in a lot of leagues. I might like the matchup against the Dolphins better for Matt Ryan than Tua against the Falcons. So I think I like Matt Ryan better here. The Dolphins defense ain't the same defense from last year. So Matt Ryan should be able to have a comeback. Maybe the rest would do him well. So, but if you make me pick between starting Matt Ryan or Tua, I'd rather start Matt Ryan this week. And of course, you got Mac Jones against the Jets. Who? Mac Jones. He's playing the Jets. And they pass the ball a lot in New England. So I like Mac Jones a lot this week against the Jets. At home. Mac Jones. Who? Mac Jones. Boom, 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 boom. And as for the running back situation, Antonio Gibson's out. Might be out this week, or it might be limited this week. J.D. McKissick becomes very, very interesting. And if he's available in leagues, that's the guy you should go after over any of those Browns running backs. So check and see if McKissick's available, guys. Try to go get him. That's pretty much it for the running back position. There ain't really too many options that you can kind of mess with. And it's funny because I got yelled at in one of my leagues because last week I realized that I would be without Dalvin Cook and James Robinson in week 7. So I went and I pretty much grabbed every possible handcuff I could. Damian Williams, Darrell Williams, Devontae Booker, Chuba, everybody. Because I'm going to have to start 2 or 3 of them this week because without Cook and Robinson. What's up, Pat? Need some fantasy advice, man? You good, man? You need some help? I'm here to help. Appreciate it, Ghost Daddy. That's true too. The Bears are playing the Bucks. I wouldn't start them either, but this is bye weeks, bro. Sometimes you just don't have a choice. Like, you just might not have a choice in the situation at hand. Because when you start, like I said, this week, 6 teams are on a bye, all right? And 5 out of those 6 teams are pretty damn good and have a lot of fantasy players. What up, Grandizer? How you doing, sir? I have to be consistent now, don't I? I do. But so from that standpoint, you might have to play somebody that you normally would not play. I can give you some examples. Let me pull up my league real quick for you guys. Let me pull up some leagues because I want you guys to see some of the pain and agony. But you guys can see it too. But when you have somebody but this is the toughest week for bye by far. Like, this is it. Like, when you want to talk about bye weeks in the streets, this is the one. So let me pull this up. Of course he's going to bounce back. I'm not worried about Terry McLaurin. He's going to bounce back. No concern whatsoever. Not worried about it. And by the way, just to put it in perspective, there's sometimes you just got to be patient with players. Like, there's a lot of folks that were giving away Stephon Diggs prior to what happened yesterday. There were some folks that was willing to give away Stephon Diggs because Stephon Diggs has started slow. And I kept saying, I wouldn't give him up yet. I think he's going to have a good second half. And some people were doing the same thing about Jonathan Taylor for Indy. We're not talking about that anymore now, are we? No, we're not. You just got to be patient with some of your guys, man. Even A.J. Brown made a relevant comeback yesterday. Could have been better, but it was decent. Improvement from what he was doing. I'm not part of it. I'm not part of the Fantasy Football Fringe podcast. I should check it out, though. Okay. Let me do a quick share for the people. Share screen. Chrome tab. All right. Let's see here. I'm assuming you guys can see this. So this is my life. This one isn't as bad. I got Josh Allen on bye. Dawson Knox on bye. Dallas on bye, but I think I don't want to drop him, but I might not have a choice in the matter. I got Thielen on bye. So we'll see what happens here. I could take Damian Williams off of IR and move him out, but I'll probably have to drop one of these players to do it. I'll probably end up dropping either Bourne or Rieger to do it, but we'll see. We'll figure that out. I got to make some decisions. Another league where I'm hurting pretty bad is this one. Diggs and Allen are on bye. Ezekiel Elliott, Thielen on bye. Emmanuel Sanders on bye. So I don't have enough wide receivers because all of my wide receivers are on bye. Diggs, Allen, Thielen, Sanders, all on bye. So I'm going to either have to make a decision. Either I want to drop 2 people to get 2 wide receivers, or I'm just going to live with the situation at hand. So the thought was I could potentially bring Sam Watkins up from IR, but I'm going to have to drop somebody to do that. So Sam Brown has been real. Or actually, I might drop Wentz. I don't know yet. I got to make a decision. But either way, it looks like Michael Thomas isn't going to be playing, so I got to go and find another wide receiver to pick up. So this one's going to be interesting. I haven't made my decisions yet on this one yet. But as you can see, my running back, my wide receiver situation is a mess. I'm starting Josh Jacobs and Devontae Booker this week and Damian Williams. So, those are the breaks with regards to that. Top waiver wire target for running back there's only one really is J.D. McKissick. And pay it do some research on the Cleveland Brown situation. It's just gonna be hard to figure out which one to roll with. I'm thinking DeShone Johnson is gonna get the first opportunity, but we'll see what happens with that. From quarterbacks, I like Derek Carr. I like Matt Ryan. For wide receivers, I like Mooney. I'm shocked he's available. I like Hardman. I'm shocked he's available in a lot of leagues too. And Crowder if you're in a pinch. But like I said, when you got 6 teams on bye, you're going to have to play some folks that this goes back to why you got to draft well and you got to draft with good depth. And hopefully you don't have the situation like me where everybody wants, all the wide receivers are on a bye. So, I got some situations. Now, this league here, this is the one I was telling you about where I might decide not to play without a tight end this week. This one here is interesting because both of my starter, James Robinson and Dalvin Cook, got the same bye. And, of course, I got the handcuff with Alexander Madison. So, I'm going to decide how I want to handle it. But it looks like I'll play Darrell Williams, Chuba Hubbard, and Brandon Cooks. And I'm going to probably do Ridley and Antonio Brown. I'm not going to play Tyler Lockett after what happened last week, I'm afraid. I don't trust the quarterback. And I'm going to try to pick up a defense and a kicker for this one. But I'm not going to – I could probably go after a tight end. There's a couple tight ends out there, but I don't know who I'm going to drop to do it yet. And that's my dilemma right now. I don't want to drop anybody. And I don't have any more fab budget. This league has a fab budget. So I don't have any more fab budget. So that means that I'm going to likely lose the person that I drop. That's a safe bet. So I'm debating on if I'm going to go without a tight end this week. I'm still thinking about it. Haven't decided yet. But it might make sense for me to do so. I like Allen Robinson. He's probably down to being a wide receiver 3 at this point. We don't know. Justin Fields is doing okay, but I know they're being very dependent on the run over in Chicago. Mooney, Galladay, or Bourne, wide receiver 3. I like Mooney over those 3. Especially this week. I don't know if Galladay is going to be able to break off on us. Don't let what happened against the Vikings fool you. Our defense isn't that terrible. But I digress. But yeah, man, I went 7-0 in the leagues this week. But yeah. Yeah, this one I got to start Taylor Heineke, but I might go and see. I might try to go out to Derek Carr. I think Derek Carr is available in this league. Let me check here. Oh, no, he's not. Oh, well, yeah. I could probably roll with Tua. Or I just keep Heineke there. Heineke against Green Bay, he's got to sling it a bit, so we'll see. But, I'm a little bit afraid of DJ Moore this week, man, because if he's going to go up against James Bradbury. But we'll see how that goes. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. The fact that Antonio Brown's available in your league says a lot, bro. I start him in my league. He's a wide receiver 2 for me. He's the top 10 wide receiver in fantasy right now. So I'm kind of shocked. Any unrostered wide receiver you're thinking about picking up this week? If Mooney or Hardman's there, those are the top 2 in my book. Anybody else? Bateman's interesting for Baltimore. Christian Kirk is interesting. Jameson Crowder is interesting. But, And that's for tight ends, man. You got Uzma, Ricky Seals-Jones. Those are the main 2. I think a lot of folks picked up Zach Ertz last week because Goddard got the Rona. So Zach Ertz probably isn't available. But Zach Ertz got traded to Arizona. With Max Williams being out, Arizona does utilize their targets on tight ends. So Zach Ertz should get enough targets to warrant being a startable tight end. So. If you're willing to give up your depth to make that trade, I don't see a problem with it. The only guy, I would do this trade only because none of those guys are starting for you anyway. But then you got to figure out, now you're going to have a depth. You might potentially have a depth problem here, but I don't know if you want to start Singletary with the split backfield in Buffalo. And Derek Carr is Derek Carr. Who cares about Derek Carr? And I think, and in my eyes, it looks like it's Terry versus Zeke. If they'll take it. Don't know if they'll take it. But we shall see. I'm pretty sure I'll hear about it. Let's see here. Yeah, man. When I drafted the players, I knew this week would come. I'll be honest. I knew this week would come. And the only thing you can hope for is that you have a good record. and you're willing to figure out a way to make a decision on how you want to handle your positions. Because if you like your bench, you don't want to drop any of your guys just to play somebody for a week, knowing that you're not going to play him again. So that's my opinion on that. Let me check the Discord real quick. Noli, let me get Johnson chat, cats. Man, no. They're not going to let you get Johnson. I mean, I wouldn't. Is it a done deal that Jimmy Garoppolo lost his job? I'm not sure if that's the case. I don't think Trey Lance has shown enough to keep that job yet. I'm not a fan of keeping two quarterbacks too, man. Like once I get, like, for example, like I showed you a league where I got Josh Allen on bye. As soon as I don't even think I have a quarterback in that league. Let me check that because I don't remember. I don't think I have a quarterback in that league, but if I do, I promise you that I'm going to drop that quarterback as soon as this week ends. Oh, I don't have a quarterback in this league, so I got to make a decision on that. Yeah, I got to make a decision on that. This running back situation is a mess. I'm out here starting Mark Ingram. I'm shocked I'm 4-2 in this league. I guess I'll show this to you so you can see it. This is from the PNP League. I'm 4-2, guys. I don't know how, but let's have a conversation. Let's go back to what I talked about when you look at the standings too. By the way, so let me show you the standings. So I don't look at this. This doesn't tell me enough. I look at this. So I'm fourth in this league. I only have scored 703 points. That's good enough for the 11th highest score in the league. I have no business being 4-2. No business. Fourth easiest schedule. 11th highest, second to last score. Worst score. Have no business being the record that I am. You guys probably can't see it. Let me blow that up for you so you can understand where I'm coming from. Let's see. No. Oh. Put that down just a tad. There we go. So, wait. Okay. So 11th highest score in this league, but I'm fourth. You know what I'm saying? That can't sustain. I gotta either pick up the points or I need to make some trades. I might need to make some moves, man. Gotta improve upon my squad, you know. But I have the fourth easiest schedule, so I'm fortunate. And I've been winning some very close games. Like if you look at and I'm playing Pat this week. All right, baby Bubba. So I won that one by 15 points. I only won that one by 8. I lost to this one by a point. So I could have been 5-1, guys. It's kind of wild to think now, huh? I got destroyed with the top team in the league. And I made a comeback near the end. And I won by 3 points thanks to Josh Allen last night. Diamond hands. I gotta get my scoring picked up. If I don't get my scoring picked up, I'm gonna lose. So here's another example of not a good look when it comes to the points. I'm 7th in this league. I'm the lowest scorer in this league, though. And my schedule, lowest score, easiest schedule. Bad. Just bad. bad across the board. Got to play better. Got to get the team improved upon. I mean, I'm only one game out of a playoff spot, but I got to pick up my points. Got to pick it up. I need to make some trades in this league too. But yes, last week there were like 10 teams that were like 2-3 or something like that, or 3-2. Like it was an interesting conjure. 3-3. It was an interesting conjure of teams on this one. There was a lot of 2-3 teams. Like I think there was like a 10-way tie or a 9-way tie or something like that, and I was last, and then I bounced up because I won last week. All right, let's answer some of these questions. All right. Let me just come back to here. Yeah, all right. Who's better, Zeke or Fournette? Zeke. That's a mess indeed. Why don't you go play Geno? I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Don't go after Geno. That's not what you want. Neither. I want to touch the 49ers running back situation. If you're making me pick one for next week, Elijah Mitchell. Long term is probably Trey Sermon. I want to keep Zeke and Ridley. As much as I would love to have Dalvin Cook, Lockett can't be trusted as long as Geno Smith is the quarterback. Although, actually, no, I would. No, I think I'd probably take the Cook. And to get Cook and Woods would be worth it. Lockett is just a consolation prize at that point. Yeah, you got to start Mike Davis. Any more questions? All right. I normally don't talk about the game, but how you guys feeling? How you guys feeling about this Giants game? Depends on who picks them up. Depends on who picks him up, man. And I don't know if I'm ready to say that either. I mean, he's interesting only off the fact that he's going to run the ball. So it all depends on who takes him. Winnable, but no lock. W. I mean, you got to start him. You got to start him if you have him. Kind of can't avoid that bullet, especially during bye weeks. You'll kick yourself if he actually gets a touchdown. Well, here's the thing, guys. I think we as a fan base tend to have we have a short-term memory when it comes to things, right? Because when you sit down and think about the perspective and what me and Rashad was talking about going into the season, we said that we had to start strong, right? We said that we were going to go 3-0 to start the season. And then reality was going to strike us against Dallas, and that's pretty much what's happened so far. But 2 weeks ago, our next five opponents going after 4 games only had 1 win, and 2 weeks later, they have more than 1 win, and we're the reasons for that. Nah, if the here's the thing. If the Panthers lose, nobody's getting fired. Not now. Like, I don't think Rule's at the point where he's going to get fired mid-season. In my opinion. I don't see that happening. I said this earlier. You might have missed it. I mean, only 8 other teams in the NFL has run the ball more than us. I'm kind of mad at myself for not looking up that stat line after Rule said he wanted to run the ball more. I mean, we're already top 10 in carries in the league. So, I mean, I don't know how much more he wants to run it. The fine fall off the rails. I don't know if our owner wants another double-digit losing season. That's just my opinion on that. No, I don't think he's gonna fire anybody. I don't know. I don't think he's gonna fire anybody, man. I think Tepper will just be angry. He'll just continue to be angry. You know. I dropped my phone earlier, and it did some work on my case. I guess that's the purpose, right? To save the phone, because it definitely would have cracked open pretty good if it would have fell a certain angle. But it did do a number on my case. I think Joe Brady's gonna get a head coaching job somewhere, bro. And I don't think if they get rid of Rule, everybody's gone. I don't think we're gonna keep Brady around if we remove Rule. Joe Brady's not getting fired, guys. I'm going and I'm sorry for the bearer of bad. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. He's not getting fired. That's not happening. And look at the Titans. When the last time they've been to a Super Bowl? So let's look at the Titans. They had no business winning that game last night, by the way. Just to be clear, that was terrible play calling by that was a terrible dive by Josh Allen, to say the least. So, I mean, you can look at the Titans if you want. The Titans gonna make it to the Super Bowl. And remember what the Titans did in the offseason. They picked up Julio Jones. That hasn't really worked out for them in the grand scheme of things. You want to keep it a buck. They look like the same team before they picked up Julio Jones. But part of the reason why they picked up Julio Jones is because they felt like they had to air the ball out more because they know that Derrick Henry ain't gonna be enough to take them there. I disagree. I think Fitterer is safe. I think Fitterer will get an opportunity to hire his own coach because he didn't have that opportunity. I mean, Fitterer just got here. Uniquely, there shouldn't be a concern about Fitterer. Nah, that's not how it works, buddy. That's not how it works. If they can't show they can be a competent offense, a balanced offense now, it ain't gonna just pop up in the playoffs. It's not how it works. And besides, this isn't the first time they had Derrick Henry running wild, and they still didn't make it to the Super Bowl. They're not gonna be like, I think they beat Buffalo last night, but that won't happen. That ain't gonna happen regularly. If Buffalo and Tennessee play 10 times, Buffalo wins 8 of them. I mean, I'm ready to win too, bro. It's been a while since we made the playoffs. It's been 4 years. 2017 last time we made the playoffs. It's been a minute. Yeah, you gotta tell me about exhausting. I mean, If we can't beat the Giants, whew, boy, we'll be having different type of discussion. It's the same offense as last year, guys. That's one thing that hasn't changed. Yeah, if we look, man, besides the fact that it's very expensive to go to a Giants game up here, because when I went looking for tickets, you had to buy them by the pair. And to buy it by the pair would have been $600. And I had no interest in spending $600. The other thing is I was just afraid, man. I ain't trying to be in no stadium on the road where we could potentially lose. The Giants should have been better than what they have been so far this year. So, I mean, sure, but you can't just go off that, right? Like, they ain't made, like, Cam was here 2 out of the 4 years we missed the playoffs. Of the last 4 years we missed the playoffs. So you can't really just go off that. We made the playoffs in 2017 with him. Tepper bought the team, missed the playoffs in 2018, missed the playoffs in 2019 due to injuries. And then in 2019, he kind of lied about his injury. So that talks about an issue with trust with the team. So I don't want to just put it on that. I mean, there's more to it than that. I mean, our lack of offensive line is the reason why Cam kept getting banged up. Nah, man, I'm good. I ain't paying that. I ain't paying that type of money. Nah, I can't do it. MetLife is ridiculous when it comes to their ticket prices. My ticket to WrestleMania was cheaper than the NFL game. It should be ugly already, Brad. It should be ugly already, bro. I told y'all playoffs wasn't a thing. I tried to tell y'all, but y'all didn't want to hear it. I mean, we were year 2 in a rebuild. But part of the reason why I feel like Tepper could potentially let Rule go is because I don't think he has the patience to wait the time it's going to take to fix it. So, Oh, God, do you really want to know the answer to that question? I'm going to tell you a funny story about that. Because for those who don't know, I live in the New England area. So right before the AFC Championship game, I was talking to a bunch of Patriots fans, and I was letting them know that I was rooting for them to beat Denver. And everybody was looking at me like I was crazy because it was like, you think you guys could beat the Patriots? Because they were confident that the Panthers were going to get to the Super Bowl, as I was, right? I knew we were going to blow out Arizona, right? So they were like, are you that confident? Are you that confident that, you guys can beat the Patriots? And I said, yes. And they were like, why? I was like, because you guys don't have a defense. It's like, I'm not worried about Tom Brady. You guys don't have a defense. So I think Carolina is capable of beating the Patriots in the shootout if it came down to it, because we were a very competent offense. We were very good offense at the time, and our defense was really good too. But I had no interest in playing Denver in the Super Bowl. None. Had no interest because I saw that defense. That defense was legit, and I know how bad our offensive line was. You got to remember, like, our offensive line in 2015 was not good, guys. Like I think people forget that the line wasn't good because of how well we played, but our line wasn't good. Most of the guys were undrafted free agents who ended up on an offensive line. But we benefited because we had Cam to mask that. And then a lot of our wide receivers stepped up, like Philly Brown, Jericho Cotchery. They stepped up to the plate. Ted Ginn Jr., they all stepped up to the plate. So from that standpoint, I had no interest in seeing Denver, period. And the thing is, people are like, well, Peyton Manning was a shell of himself. You're right. But that defense wasn't a shell of themselves, and that was the problem. That defense was good all season. As great as our defense was in 2015, that defense was loads better than what we had. And it showed. Michael Thomas and Dalton Schultz for DJ Moore. I would, yeah, they would take it, man. I'd rather have DJ. I just don't think they're gonna take it because they don't know when Michael Thomas is coming back. They're talking like he might be out for a couple weeks. Was making that pick that I took for Michael Thomas looking like a bust. I feel some type of way about that. I keep trying to tell folks 5 or 6 wins ain't gonna be enough for Rule to keep his job, man. He's got to win at least 8, 7 or 8. 7 might get him a short leash in the third season. 8 will definitely give him a full season for year 3. But anything below 7, I think he's gone. I really do. I stand by that. I think he's out of here if it's more than 7. That's just my opinion on the matter. I didn't check to see if he practiced today. He's supposed to play, though. I mean, as long as he learns the defense, he'll probably be able to play. That's pretty dope. I'm looking at the Bucks championship ring. It's pretty cool. Yeah, we were 4-2. Won all our games without McCaffrey. Those 4 games without McCaffrey. All 5 of our games we won was without McCaffrey. So I have no idea what number he's gonna get. Maybe he'll buy off Zane Gonzalez's number and get 5. That's an option. I don't know if he decided to do that or not. He probably would have heard about it if that was the case. But look at it this way: if Sam keeps playing the way he's playing, he definitely getting a new deal. Well, let's see. I'm bummed about the fact that Zilstra's on IR, man. I just hope it's a temporary. I hope it's a 3-weeker and not a done for the season IR. I didn't check to see which one it was. I just saw that he was on IR. But it's unfortunate, man. Brandon's friend of the show. So shout out to Brandon Zilstra. Hope he heals up quickly. No, CMC's a victim of his. CMC wants to play too. You're always going to have the challenge when it comes to the player. The player wants to play too. That's always going to be a thing. Dearness Johnson is starting for the Cleveland game, so that's the guy you want to get, ladies and gentlemen. So if you really need a running back, Dearness Johnson is who you want. He made a comment saying that he was going to be starting. It's a dream come true. So he's starting Thursday Night Football against Denver. Now, granted, Denver's got a pretty good run defense, so play it at your own risk. But we know Dearness Johnson is going to get the first opportunity to start. He's available in a lot of leagues because a lot of folks probably went out to Felton last week. So Dearness Johnson is probably available in your league. So if you're really desperate for a running back position, go out to Dearness Johnson. But I could see it being a split back system, just like Demetric Felton might have some low end flex, shot in the dark type of play, but there's your options right there. You guys are trying to give Sam these passes. Y'all gonna quit calling this dude. We've been talking about how the coaching staff and the fan base has been calling this man, and now you're running out of ways to coddle him at this point. Yeah, I'm hoping this helps. I don't know. I didn't check to see if Shi Smith played special teams, but I'm hoping this confirms that he's going to get a jersey now, at least while Zylstra's out. That wouldn't be a bad thing to give him some opportunity. It'd be a good opportunity for him at least. Don't worry, he can return to the playoffs all he wants. There ain't gonna be no playoffs to go to, unless we trade him to a playoff team. And I don't think you guys want to do that. But he did say he was eyeing a return for the playoffs. But I think that was when we thought that we were going to make the playoffs. I don't know if we're going to make the play. I don't think we're making the playoffs, guys. I think let's look at the Panther schedule since we're out here. I got a little bit of time. I'm still waiting for my phone call, but I got a little bit of time. Let's look at the remaining schedule for the Carolina Panthers, shall we? All right. Let me see if I can pull this up in a list. Makes life a little bit easier. Let's look at the schedule. All right. Later. Okay. Let me share this for the people. Now, I want you guys to see it because y'all got to have some level of perspective here in these streets. So let's stop sharing. Let's reshare. Because I'm here to give you guys, I'm here for the perspective. Let's see what y'all see. All right. That looks good. Can y'all see these games? Let's go over the schedule for the people because I just want you guys to understand. So let's start with the Giants. So do you guys think we're going to beat the Giants on the road? You think we're going to beat the Giants on the road? Give me a yes or a W in the chat if you think we're going to beat the Giants. L if you think we're going to lose to the Giants. Kanye shrug if you don't have an idea. I'm leaning towards Kanye shrug right now. I think if we were at home, I would feel a little bit better about it. But then again, a home game hasn't been a home game the past couple of weeks, so I don't know. 8. Let me go ahead and clear this up for you, buddy. 9 wins ain't gonna be enough to get a wild card. We need about 11. We need 11. 11 wins will probably do it. If you want that perspective, let's see. Who were the playoff teams last year? NFC playoff teams 2020 when they had 7 teams. Let's look at the record, shall we? So the Bears were 8 no. Wait, hold on. Were the Bears 8-8? The Bears were 8-8. I don't think that's going to happen this year. I'm going to be honest. I just don't think that's going to happen this year. Rams were 10-6, and they made the wild card. Bucks were 11-5. They won the Super Bowl on a wild card. All right. I don't think 8 or 9 wins is going to be enough. I don't know if we beat the Giants or not, bro. But a lot of folks think we are going to beat the Giants. So do you think we're going to beat the Falcons on the road too? We think we're going to beat the Falcons? On the road? When the last time we won on the road against Atlanta? Then we can do it with Sam Darnold. I know going into the season, We thought the Giants was going to be an easy win. We thought Atlanta, we probably would lose on the road, and we thought the Patriots would be an easy win. Y'all think we're going to beat Atlanta on the road? I don't think we're going to beat Atlanta on the road. I don't know damn what the record is. Okay. Y'all think we're going to beat New England at home? You think we're going to beat New England at home? Y'all think we're gonna beat New England at home? I don't think we're gonna beat New England at home. Mac Jones has actually been playing pretty damn well. Bill Belichick's a much better coach than Matt Rule. I think that's gonna be a classic example of us getting out coached. So I don't think we beat New England at home. I think before the season I thought we were gonna beat New England at home, but I don't see it. So all right, so we're 9 weeks into this season, and I could legitimately see us lose all 3 of these games. I could see it. I could see us winning against the Giants on Sunday, but I know we could potentially lose on the road to Atlanta, and we definitely could lose in New England at home. That is very feasible. All right, let's go to week 10. Do you think we're going to beat Arizona on the road? Let's go to week 10. Think you're going to beat Arizona on the road? Think so? Y'all think we're going to beat Arizona on the road? Y'all are bugging if y'all think we're going to beat Arizona on the road. They're the last undefeated team in the NFL. L moved to week 11. All right. We'll go to 11. Let's go to 11 and 12. Both of these games are very winnable. I think we could beat Washington. Although I think Taylor Heineke is going to have a reason to play this game. And but I do think we can beat Miami. Miami has not been as good as they should have been this year. These 11 and 12 are winnable games now. They weren't winnable going into the season, but they're definitely winnable now. So I can see us like getting false hope and win both Washington and Miami. So in my head, if I give us the Giants win, we win 3 more games. That puts us at 6 games, and then we'll be 6-6 going into the bye. Being 500 going into the bye ain't too bad, right? Then we got Atlanta, Buffalo, Tampa, Saints, Tampa. Atlanta, at Buffalo, Tampa, Saints, Tampa. So we could lose these last 4 games right here. These could be, we could close out the season on a 4-game losing streak. Legitimately could lose all these games. Legitimately. Not on the road. We're not beating the Saints on the road, guys. I don't think we can beat them in the dome. I mean, things might change too, man. Like if CMC comes back, maybe Darnold plays better with CMC. Darnold should play better with CMC returning. I mean, things can change, but it's just, I just think by the time CMC comes back, right? So CMC is going to be out. CMC, he was put on IR, so he's got to miss 3 games. So he's going to be out. He was out for the Vikings game. He's going to be out for the Giants game. He's going to be out for the Atlanta game. So he's going to come back just in time for New England. And New England's going to shut him down because typically New England, the Patriots will shut down your top person. So either he's going to shut down McCaffrey or they're going to shut down DJ Moore. So we're not splitting against the Bucs. Let's be real. We're not sweeping New Orleans either. And we're definitely losing to the Bills. So you guys are looking at much different games than us. We lost to the Eagles. And we lost to Minnesota on Sunday. Our defense, I don't want to say our defense did give up 570 yards, but But we know why they give up 570 yards. So, but yep. But yeah, man. So I mean, it'll be interesting, man. 6 wins. I think Rule's gone. 7 wins. I think he'll have a short leash going into the 3rd year. 8 or more. I think he's going to get another whole season. But I think we need at least 10 or 11 to make the playoffs. But all right, I think that this has been fun. Yeah, I don't want to say that, but I could see it. I could absolutely see us only win one more game. I could see it. But if we're only going to win one more game, it's going to be next week. Yo, I don't think another 5-win season keeps this coaching staff here. I really don't. But what do I know? I'm not the billionaire. Nah, the only college football I watch is A&T. I don't watch that much college football. Six and 11, we get a new coaching staff. No, because we don't have a 2nd-round pick. We traded it for Sam Darnold. I want us to keep winning. Like, we traded our 2nd-round pick for Sam Darnold. So, like, the Jets are going to end up with a top 40 pick if we keep losing. And I'm not going to be happy about that because then we might do the same thing we did with Teddy. And the difference is that we're going to end up paying for another quarterback, and now we gave him draft capital to do it as well. I'm not happy. I won't be thrilled about that one. That's for sure. Bro, we played New Orleans when they were missing the coaching staff. They had injuries in the secondary. They could be healthy the next time we play them. And they're going to have all the coaches. And they're going to be on the road. And they're going to be at home in New Orleans. I think you're misstating how good New Orleans is. New Orleans is not that bad. They got a better record than us right now. I don't know what offensive line you've been watching, but offensive line is pretty terrible. I mean, I agree we got talent. I just don't think the coaching staff is built to do what needs to be done. Like, I think a lot of things that happened in the last 3 losses comes down to coaching. And then it does come down to talent at certain positions. We're not that talented on the offensive line side. We're not that talented at the quarterback position. We're going to be having discussions coming in the next couple of weeks about whether or not Darnold was a downgrade for what we had. So, no, that's silly. I wouldn't tank for anybody. And truth be told, for folks who think that Rule survives regardless of what happens with our record, if we're terrible, we're not drafting a quarterback. Sam's going to be our guy next year. I just want y'all to know that. Like, I've been saying it, and I stand by what I said, and I've been very consistent. If the decision is made to bring Rule back next year, Sam Darnold is going to be our quarterback next year. Well, I mean, we'll see, man. I mean, I had a lot of hope going into this Vikings game, and then he threw an interception on the first play. I knew what was up at that point, and then he was terrible until the 4th quarter, to that final drive. But, I just hope we, build the team right, like fix the offensive line. Like, I think Matt and Rashad talked about this in the past. I think Matt Rule doesn't know what it's like to be around an elite quarterback. And because of that, he thinks he can do it with anybody. But the problem is that he's got to have pieces around that person. Elite quarterbacks mask everything else. And even sometimes they can't. Like Mahomes has 8 interceptions. But he's got wide receivers dropping passes, tipping balls. He's got his offensive line's not helping him. So we'll see. No, he doesn't. Y'all need to stop that. Y'all need to stop that. Y'all got to stop the madness. Define it. What does upside mean? I mean, and when do you expect upside to show up? I mean, what's upside? I mean, now granted, there are some quarterbacks that'll pick it up later, that'll bloom later. I mean, you think this guy's Drew Brees? I don't. But maybe you do. I don't. But if you think about our franchise and its history, I mean, we were a game away from going to the Super Bowl with Kerry Collins as our quarterback, and then we made it to the Super Bowl with a guy named Jake Delhomme, who came off the bench during the first game of the regular season. So people forget that Rodney Peete was the starting quarterback going into week 1 that year. And then Jake came in and took us to the Super Bowl. And so, I mean, I just need to be Jake at this point. But I don't think he doesn't have the dog in him to be somebody like Jake. And that's the issue. We talked about it on Monday. Sam doesn't have the dog in him, man. That's what it boils down to in my eyes. But the point is, Teddy Bridgewater was not brought in to be a franchise quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater was literally brought in to be the bridge quarterback. And you got rid of Teddy Bridgewater, you got rid of your bridge to bring in somebody who this coaching staff thought could be a franchise quarterback. And we're realizing that he's not a franchise quarterback. That's how I feel about it. He wasn't a turnover machine in New Orleans. Matter of fact, you should go up and look up the history, man. Jake Delhomme cost the Panthers a playoff spot back in 1999. I don't know if you remember that story, but I guess we had to outscore the Packers by a certain amount of points, and we were playing New Orleans in the final game of the season. New Orleans was pretty much done for the year, so Jake Delhomme started. And Jake, on the other side, stopped us from – we won the game, but he stopped us from getting the point differential we needed to beat out the Packers to make the playoffs that year. And he ended up taking us to the Super Bowl a few years later. Crazy how that goes. I mean, 6-11, baby. 6-11. We'll win 3 more games. 6-11. I have to go back and check. I don't remember what I said prior to the season. I think I had us winning 7 or 8 games prior to the season. I didn't think we were going to make the playoffs, though. I thought that we would have some level of improvement. And I thought it was going to be dependent on our defense playing well. But yeah, 6-11 is probably what we're going to end up being. 1 game improvement from last year. Same amount of losses, though. Yeah, but the Lions were trash last year. That's why they fired the coach. Remember? And the Lions haven't won a game yet this year. I mean, I thought JC was the right pick at 8. I know a lot of folks want to take offensive linemen, but I thought he was the right pick. I think he's going to be great when he comes back. I like Tommy Trimble. We actually got the honor to interview him a few months ago for the Patreon. If you're a Patreon, You can go and check out the interview that we had with Tommy Turtle. He was the first rookie that we've interviewed. I think he will. I think, he came from a franchise that's won championships. So I think that's important too. I know Stephon wanted to come home, but I think he also wants to win. So I think that's going to be helpful. Fam, I don't want to give the Jets a top 40 pick. I have no interest in giving the Jets a top 40 pick. Like, I think people forget that we gave up the second round pick for him. Like, it's great on paper for the first round, but my concern is the second round at this point. I'm going to feel a certain type of way if we give up a pick. I think Matt Rule been on the hot seat since we blew the Philadelphia game personally, but I just don't think he's going to get fired this year. I don't think he's going to get fired during the season. I think I think Tepper understood the Dallas loss. I don't think he was down with the Philadelphia loss, and I definitely don't think he was down with the Minnesota loss. I said this earlier, and I'll say it again for the people who weren't here before. We run the ball. Only eight other teams in the NFL runs the ball more than us. We're 9th in the league in rushing attempts. 9th. We're top 10. We run the ball a lot already. I mean, how much more do you want us to run? You want to run 40, 50 times a game? Give him the Chris Winkie treatment, let him only throw the ball 5 times? I mean, that 6 times? I mean, that's where we're at. We run the ball a lot already. I don't think anything will open up if our offensive line can't run block. And they haven't shown their ability to do that yet. And the Giants, that's the best way to attack the Giants. So we'll see. Yeah, but the thing is, I want us to be like, I don't want the pick to be like 38th, 39th, 40th. Like, I want it to be like 44, 45, 50. Like, I want it to be closer to 50 than closer to 30. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't mad at the second round pick because I was like, oh, we'll probably be an 8 or 9 or a 9, 8 or 9, 8 or 8 and 9, 9 and 18, 9 and 8 team, and we'll probably miss the playoffs, but we'll probably be middle of the pack, so it won't be that bad. It'll be close to a 50th pick versus the 30th, 38th, 39th. That's what I don't want. That's why. Doesn't matter. We still gave up a pick for the guy. So we're paying Teddy Bridgewater to play for Denver, and we gave up a pick for this guy, and we know we're not going to get rid of him. I was open to trading Robbie when he didn't get the contract. Now that he's got the contract, you can't trade him. Once he got his extension, that ended that, guys. Like, we can't trade we can't. It'll look bad if we trade somebody that we just re-signed. You have no leverage. You're not gonna get anything for him, and we're gonna have to take the cap hit. Like, so the way it works, when you trade a player, the team that's trading away the player still have to pay the guaranteed money. So the cap hit accelerates. So part of the reason why, besides the whole situation going on with Deshaun Watson, part of the reason why Houston ain't really trying to trade Deshaun Watson is because they got to take the cap hit from that contract. So let's see. Oh, look, man, if it was I wasn't too happy about what we gave up in the first place. But, we were getting ready to give up a first-round pick for Stafford. Just think, we wouldn't have had J.C. Horn, we would have had Matt Stafford. Robbie's already had time, bro. I said it yesterday, and I'll say it again. Teddy Bridgewater got 2 wide receivers paid last year. All right, this was fun. I have exhausted my time. I will talk to you guys on the next one. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Become a patron at www.patreon.com/PantherNationPC. We got a lot of great content for our Patreon subscribers. You can follow the channel on Twitter at Panther Nation PC. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitch. We're pretty much everywhere, man. So just follow us and support the channel. Appreciate you. Appreciate the support. You guys have a lovely evening. And always remember, keep pounding.